Welcome back to the channel. Today, there is huge breaking news in the What the Hales case. Jeremy Hales is finally getting some justice. And Michelle, Lynette, Lacey, Alexis, Ophelia, Preston, I don't know. I still don't know all of her names, facing sanctions. Let's get into it. Now, you all might remember the thumbnail case. We refer to it as the thumbnail case. This is the case that Lynette Preston brought against Jeremy Hales with the help of her scummy attorney, who I hate to even mention, former attorney. He cooked up the whole scheme, saying that she had some kind of a case against not only Jeremy Hales, but George, Larry Forman, the DUI guy, and DJ Rattis for using her picture in YouTube thumbnails, and they claimed it was a copyright violation of some sort. Now, her attorney completely ignored the part of the law that says there are exceptions for news programs and anything like podcasts, YouTube, all of that. There's an exception, but he completely ignored that and instead filed a frivolous complaint under her name, Michelle Preston, versus Jeremy Hales, George, Larry Forman, and Terrence Graves. This complaint was filed in August of 2024 in a Levy County courthouse. It initially came before Judge Craig DeThomasis, but he had to recuse himself because of his bias towards Lynette Preston. And then it was assigned to Judge Davis. Judge Davis finally gets a hold of it. So this is the original complaint, right? It goes over, it's a ridiculous complaint. We won't go over it. I've done other videos on it. But we are talking about what happened in the thumbnail case. Today, there's big breaking news. And Michelle, Lynette, Michelle, whatever, LMNOP is going to be facing sanctions for bringing this lawsuit. Sanctions. She's going to have to write a check. Judge Grabe, who's the new judge, or Judge Grebe, who's the new judge in the case, just issued an order saying, you're going to pay. You're going to pay because you didn't show up for your deposition. Now, why didn't Lynette show up for her deposition? Well, we all remember how she behaved in the last deposition that she showed up for.
Mother died.
What proof do you have that your mother died?
My mother did not die. I deserve the right to be represented, and she is my help. It doesn't involve this case. She's giving me money. That's it. And I want to see everybody that Jeremy gets his money from.
Ma'am, you're not being responsive. Let's make sure we're understanding.
No, I'm not.
Again, you're interrupting me. So I'm trying to be really helpful and calm here. Really am. I'm asking a simple question. You've texted somebody on your phone. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Who are you speaking to?
Nobody.
Okay. You've just texted somebody in the middle of your sworn testimony, and you're refusing to show us the text.
Messaged me and asked me, did he call you yet?
I've never, put the instruction now.
Call Silverman's office now, please.
Who are you speaking to, ma'am?
I'm yelling out the window. I need a break so I can call a lawyer.
There's a question.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I'm not going to get myself criminally in trouble. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Well, you can't really plead the fifth in a civil case that you brought, ma'am. That deposition came from the order of protection case that she tried to bring against Jeremy Hales, accusing him of stalking her. Well, the only person who has an actual order of protection against Lynette is Jeremy. And what is it for? Stalking. Yes, Lynette Preston and John Cook were found guilty of stalking and harassment in an Ohio court, and Jeremy's the only one who has an order of protection. Lynette dropped that order of protection case in Levy County when she couldn't win. Then she refiled this thumbnail. She filed this thumbnail thing under the direction, of course, of her screwy attorney. So where are we now is the question. So the thumbnail case went through a whole lot of stuff. In fact, I don't even think I have all the documents, but we'll go through some of them this was filed in February by Jeremy Hales, which was a motion to compel discovery and for sanctions in this case. So Jeremy, George, and Larry filed this for sanctions in the thumbnail case, alleging that this is frivolous. It's frivolous, and they're going to get sanctions in this case. Now, that went in February of 2025. So they used, in the meantime, Lynette's attorney, who was Mr. Manskin, but he was using a guy named Scott Stark, who we all remember had lots and lots of medical problems. Well, Stark was deposed. And in his deposition, it turned out that he had no idea what this case was about. He didn't know how many thumbnails were being used. He didn't know what any of it was about, which, of course, led us to believe that Bruce did most of the everything in this case and was just using Scott Stark as a Florida attorney because Bruce is not licensed in Florida to practice. So he never did even, Stark never even did send the images in discovery to Randy or to Jeremy's team that were at issue. I mean, this was a bullshit case from the beginning. They refused to even say which thumbnails they thought broke the law and how many of them there were. It was a nightmare. And there were all these emails about Stark, avoiding hearings, getting sick, having to go to the hospital. My computers are down. That was another one that was very big. My computers are inoperable. I can't send you the images because they don't work. Look, it's been nothing but avoiding the issue. It has been nothing but stalling techniques, stalling tactics, saying you can't show up for things, not showing up for things, saying the night before you're withdrawing from the case. And so this has been going on since August of 2024, you guys. August of 2024, more than a year. Preston has, dragged Jeremy through this. So she tried to get out of it. They tried to drop the case, but because they brought a frivolous case, Jeremy's lawyer said, no, we want sanctions. And so now Judge Grebe has been assigned after Judge Davis, and Judge Grebe is not putting up with any crap. Well, the latest crap that LMNOP ordered or put into court was a motion to basically quash the deposition. It was a motion for a protective order, which meant she didn't want to show up for the deposition that was scheduled in this case. The deposition was scheduled for October 1st, I want to say. If I remember correctly, I think it was October 1st. Well, that, of course, was opposed by the defendants, who said no, she should not be able to push off this deposition. And because before she had, in another related case, the one with the protective order, she also didn't show one time because she claimed her mother died. Remember this?
Mother died.
What proof do you have that your mother died?
My mother did not die.
Yes. So they've already seen this kind of shenanigans from her before. And so basically Randy is saying, no, she can't be allowed to skate out of this deposition because she's done it before. She was a no-show. Then she gave false information, etc. Now, LMNOP is out there claiming that she never said her mother died and then didn't die, which of course it's on tape. We have it. It's silly. So anyway, they objected. So Judge Grebe just ruled on this, and a lot of things happened in between that I'm not going over, but he just ruled, and this is really going to be something to read. All right. Order denying motion for protective order.
Deny. Sit down.
This cause came before the court upon Michelle Preston's motion for protective order. The court, having reviewed the motion, any response thereto, the applicable law, and being otherwise fully advised in the premises, hereby orders and adjudges as follows. Oh, it's worth pointing out that the reason why she wanted this one to be delayed is because her lawyer died. Yes, Scott Stark did die, and that was her excuse for not showing up to this that she had 10 days notice of. She filed the night before to say, I'm not coming. And one of the reasons was my lawyer died.
Okay.
Your Honor,
My lawyer died. I have no understanding of any of this, of what's happened. No one has kept me abreast of the case because Scott died.
Blah, 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 blah. It's just one more, it's excuse after excuse with her. I'm not ready because my mother died. I'm not ready because my lawyer died. I'm not ready because I don't have all the information. I didn't get my file from my other attorney. She has every excuse in the book, while Judge Grebe wasn't having it. So back to the order at hand. Plaintiff filed a motion for a protective order seeking to avoid appearing for a properly noticed deposition in this matter. Now, this is what should have happened to her, by the way, when she skipped out on the deposition in the order of protection case. Remember that? When she skipped out when Judge DeThomasis was part of, was the one doing the, was the one presiding over that hearing. She should have, this is what should have happened to her then, when she did not show. She was a no-show for that one. But Judge DeThomasis, because he was such a terrible judge and he was completely biased in favor of Lynette Preston, he completely let her get away with it. Judge Grebe, on the other hand, isn't going to do that, and you're going to hear why and how the law applies. Florida Rule of Civil Procedure provides that a party or person for whom discovery is sought may seek a protective order, and that the trial court may issue an order that denies or restricts discovery for good cause. When justice requires, the court may issue an order to protect a party or person from annoyance, embarrassment, oppression, or undue burden or expense. The party seeking the protective order has the burden to show good cause. The court finds that the plaintiff has failed to demonstrate good cause sufficient to warrant the issuance of a protective order in this case. Florida Rule of Civil Procedure was created primarily as a vehicle for ensuring compliance with discovery requests and discovery orders. Florida rules provide sanctions against a party for failing to make discovery, including when a party or an officer or a managing agent of a party willfully fails to appear before the officer who is to take his deposition after being served with a proper notice. I wonder what Judge Grebe would think when he finds out that she refused to turn over anything in discovery too, because there was nothing handed over in discovery, nothing in any of her cases. The penalties for completely failing to appear at a deposition include an order striking out pleadings or parts of them, or staying further proceedings until the order is obeyed, or dismissing the action or proceeding or any part of it, or rendering a judgment by default against the disobedient party. These sanctions are permissible even without a previous court order. So it doesn't sound like Judge Grebe is playing, and here we have it. Based on the foregoing, it is hereby ordered and adjudged that the plaintiff's motion for protective order is denied.
Denied. Sit down.
Defendants Jeremy Hales, Martha Risk, and Larry Forman are entitled to sanctions, including reasonable attorney's fees and costs incurred in connection with the motion for protective order, defendant's response in opposition, and any related proceedings. Oh, Lord, you know what this means. Remember when Judge Grebe said somebody's going to be writing a check? It's going to be Lynette. She's writing a check. She's going to have to. He said they are entitled to sanctions, including attorney's fees and costs that incurred in connection with this motion for the protective order, but not just that, because they had to write a response in opposition and any related anything else. Number 3, we're not even done yet. The amount of attorney's fees and costs shall be determined at a subsequent hearing to be set by the court upon motion of the defendants. Number 4, oh boy, this is a good one. Plaintiff Michelle Preston shall appear for an audio and video deposition which shall occur on or before October 31st, 2025 at the Levy County Courthouse. Failure to comply with this order may result in an additional sanctions pursuant to Florida Rules of Civil Procedure. Signed, Robert Grebe. Judge Grebe. Wow. Fantastic job, sir. You're finally holding this person accountable. She thinks she can do anything. She thinks she can fail to show for depositions, that she doesn't have to turn over to discovery. And up until this very moment, it has been years. Jeremy has been in court with this woman for years. And this is the first time, besides the Ohio judge, where she has been given a consequence for what she has done. Now, you need to read the tea leaves here, because this is the thumbnail case. And if Judge Grebe is ruling this way in the thumbnail case, he is absolutely going to rule the same way in the sanctions or frivolous filing lawsuit, malicious prosecution for the Trespass 5 case against the Grangers. Lynette's going to be writing some checks. Wouldn't it be great, LMNOP, if you had that $100,000 that the anti-Hales ecosystem raised on your behalf? Because I think you're going to need it. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck with all that. As Judge Grieb said, you're in over your head. And it's not looking good. This is just the first in a long list of judgments that are going to come down against you because of your horrific behavior in this case and the facts of these cases that are not on your side. And this is just the first of what I hope will be several, but we will keep watching it for you, and I will definitely be reporting on it as it goes. And we'll see what happens. See you next time.